Have you ever stopped to think about how that soft, delicate tissue paper you use every single day was once part of a tough, towering tree? It's almost unbelievable that something so rough and rugged could transform into something so thin, smooth and gentle against your skin. But that's exactly what happens deep inside massive tissue factories, places where nature's raw strength meets human ingenuity to create one of the most essential yet overlooked products in modern life. It all begins in sprawling plantations where trees like eucalyptus, pine, and spruce stand tall, chosen specifically for the unique fibers they hold within. These fibers are the hidden secret to soft and absorbent tissue paper. Eucalyptus trees, for instance, grow incredibly fast, reaching maturity in just 7 years, while pine trees can take decades. Once ready for harvest, enormous machines equipped with powerful claws and saws grab, cut, and stack these trees with breathtaking speed, turning what was once a forest giant into manageable logs ready for processing. The logs are transported to pulp mills, the true heart of the tissue-making process, where the first step is debarking. Giant drum-like machines spin the logs, stripping away their tough outer bark layer. What's left is pure wood, which is then chopped into thousands of tiny uniform chips by razor-sharp mechanical blades in seconds. These chips are the foundation of tissue paper, but they still need to be broken down into fibers. That happens inside a massive, pressurized vessel called a digester, where the chips are cooked in a powerful cocktail of chemicals, mainly sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide, in what's known as the Kraft process. This stage dissolves lignin, the natural glue that holds wood fibers together, freeing them into a soft, fibrous pulp. The resulting mixture looks nothing like wood anymore. It's a wet, brown slurry that smells faintly of earth and chemistry. To make it bright and clean, the pulp is washed, filtered, and bleached until it turns into that familiar snowy white color. Each fiber inside is gently separated, shortened, and fluffed, a delicate transformation that prepares it for the next stage of refining. Refining is where science and precision meet art. The fibers are mechanically treated to reach the perfect balance of softness, strength, and absorbency. It's this stage that determines whether the tissue will feel silky smooth or rough and weak. The refined pulp is then mixed with water to create a soupy suspension that's 99% water and only 1% fiber. As this mixture is spread onto a fine mesh screen, water immediately starts draining through the tiny holes, leaving behind a thin mat of interlocked fibers, the earliest form of tissue paper. But at this point it's still soggy and fragile, so powerful dryers come into play. Massive heated cylinders remove almost every drop of moisture, transforming the damp sheet into a dry, structured web. Even the smallest imbalance in drying or fiber distribution can make the final product tear too easily, so the process has to be perfect. Once dried, the tissue is pressed and rolled into enormous reels known as jumbo rolls. But we're not done yet. This is where the finishing touches come in. Perforation machines add those tiny dotted lines that make tearing off each sheet so satisfying. Embossing rollers press intricate patterns into the paper, trapping microscopic pockets of air between the layers. This not only makes the tissue look more premium but also enhances its softness and thickness without using extra material. It's a small detail that makes a huge difference in comfort. These jumbo rolls are then rewound onto cardboard cores to become the familiar toilet paper rolls we see on store shelves. Some modern versions skip the core entirely, reducing waste and saving space, a smart eco-friendly twist that's gaining popularity. The type of fiber used makes all the difference in quality. Premium brands often use long, silky eucalyptus fibers that make each sheet feel luxuriously soft, while cheaper options rely on recycled fibers that are shorter and coarser. Different machines produce different products: tightly wound toilet paper, neatly folded facial tissues, or even paper towels designed for strength and absorbency. Each variation follows the same basic principles but with specific adjustments for texture and performance. From the roar of chippers to the gentle hum of dryers, every step is carefully orchestrated to turn something wild and woody into a product of comfort, hygiene, and convenience that we use without even thinking twice. Now, let's switch from the clean, crisp world of tissue paper to something that smells far sweeter: the world of gingerbread. Just the word itself can transport you straight into cozy winter evenings, where kitchens are filled with the warm scent of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves, and every countertop seems to sparkle with sugar and cheer. Gingerbread isn't just a cookie, it's a holiday tradition, a symbol of comfort, creativity, and nostalgia. But have you ever imagined what it looks like to make gingerbread on a massive industrial scale? Behind every perfectly decorated gingerbread man or elaborately constructed cookie house lies a fascinating process of precision baking and high-speed machinery working in harmony. Inside a gingerbread factory, things start with mixing, but not the small-scale kind you do at home. Picture enormous vats filled with hundreds of pounds of flour, gallons of rich molasses, creamy butter and fragrant spices being mixed into a thick, glossy dough. The proportions have to be exact because even the smallest change in thickness can make or break the final product. Too thin and the cookies turn brittle. Too thick and the walls of a gingerbread house might collapse under their own weight. Once the dough reaches the perfect consistency, it's rolled out by giant automated rollers that ensure a perfectly uniform thickness across every sheet. Then comes the fun part, shaping. Precision cutters stamp out everything from gingerbread walls and rooftops to classic holiday shapes like stars, snowflakes, and the ever-charming gingerbread man. Every piece must be perfect because even a small warp could ruin the symmetry of a gingerbread house. The shaped dough pieces move onto massive conveyor belts that carry them into industrial ovens. These ovens are designed to deliver even, consistent heat, ensuring each cookie bakes evenly to that ideal balance between crisp edges and a firm, aromatic center. As the sweet aroma of baked ginger and sugar fills the air, the cookies emerge golden brown, ready to cool and harden slightly before decoration. Now comes the real magic, the decorating stage. This is where machines and people often work side by side. The cookies glide under automated icing nozzles that drizzle intricate white patterns or apply a layer of glossy royal icing, that thick, sugary glue that holds gingerbread houses together. Royal icing is called royal for a reason. It's elegant, versatile, and once dried, hard as stone. It's the architectural backbone of every gingerbread house. Once the base icing is in place, the fun begins. Candy decorations like Skittles, gumdrops, marshmallows, and colorful sprinkles are added to turn each creation into a masterpiece of edible art. Marshmallows provide softness and height, Skittles bring that shiny, colorful pop, and tiny sugar pearls or sprinkles give the whole scene a festive sparkle. Every house becomes unique, a sugary reflection of the holiday spirit. On the factory floor, rows upon rows of finished gingerbread pieces glisten under the lights, looking almost too beautiful to eat. Packaging teams work quickly to seal in the freshness, ensuring each batch makes its way to store shelves just in time for the holiday rush. It's fascinating to realize that whether you're looking at a roll of toilet paper or a box of gingerbread cookies, both come from complex, carefully engineered processes that transform raw materials into something that fits seamlessly into our lives. One turns wood into softness, the other turns flour into sweetness. Both perfect examples of how creativity, technology, and craftsmanship can take something ordinary and make it extraordinary. Behind every tissue you unfold or cookie you bite lies an entire world of innovation, passion, and precision. It's a reminder that the simplest things we use or enjoy daily, from wiping a tear to decorating a Christmas house, often have the most incredible stories hidden behind them. And that's what makes these everyday products truly extraordinary. They are quiet marvels of human invention, blending the strength of nature with the ingenuity of science to bring comfort, cleanliness, and joy into our homes every single day. Imagine walking through a winter wonderland filled with the aroma of sugar, chocolate, and freshly fried dough wafting through the air. It's that magical time of year when kitchens and factories alike buzz with festive energy, creating the colorful candies and delicious treats that make Christmas unforgettable. But have you ever wondered how those perfect little sprinkles, those striped candy canes, or even those mouth-watering donuts come to life on a massive industrial scale? Well, you're about to step behind the scenes of some of the sweetest production lines on Earth. From the mesmerizing swirl of gummy candies to the glossy glaze dripping over donuts, this is where holiday magic meets modern technology. Every machine, every rotation, every splash of color is part of a perfectly timed dance designed to make your favorite festive sweets. So, grab your hot cocoa because what's coming next will make you appreciate every bite of your next Christmas treat. It all begins with sprinkles, those tiny joyful bursts of color that can turn any dessert into a celebration. Unlike what you might think, sprinkles aren't just cut from a big sheet of sugar. They're crafted using an extruder machine that pushes out thin strands of sweet dough with precision. These strands are then dried and sliced into tiny pieces before heading to large rotating drums. Inside these drums, edible and food-safe dyes are added, coating every piece evenly as the drums spin. The result is a vibrant explosion of color, reds, greens, blues, and golds, all shimmering with sugary delight. Once they're perfectly coated, the sprinkles are dried again, packaged and sealed tight, ready to be scattered over frosted cookies, cupcakes, and of course the iconic gingerbread house. Because really, what's Christmas without those cheerful, colorful bits of joy? But the magic doesn't stop there. Let's talk about one of the most iconic candies ever created, the candy cane. Those red and white curved sticks of sweetness aren't just a treat, they're a symbol of the holiday itself. Inside the candy factory, sugar syrup is heated to precise temperatures until it becomes thick and glossy. Once the syrup reaches just the right consistency, it's divided into batches for coloring. Part of the syrup remains white while the other portion is dyed a deep, festive red. Each batch is kneaded on cooling tables, stretched until smooth and then rolled into long ropes. These ropes are twisted together while still warm to form the classic red and white swirl. Machines then pull and stretch them into perfect lengths before they're curved into that familiar cane shape and cooled to harden. Each candy cane is then wrapped and sealed, waiting to hang from Christmas trees or to adorn gingerbread houses across the country. It's simple, elegant, and deeply nostalgic. A candy that's as much about tradition as it is about taste. Now, while candy canes may be the symbol of the season, one of Japan's sweetest exports has also become a favorite holiday snack around the world: the Pocky stick. Those slender biscuit sticks, partially dipped in chocolate or frosting, add a touch of style and crunch to any festive setup. The process begins with a smooth biscuit dough that's rolled into thin rods and baked until crisp and golden. Once cooled, the rods glide down conveyor belts toward a dipping machine that coats one side with chocolate, leaving the other side bare so you can hold it without making a mess. These coated sticks are cooled again, then carefully aligned and packaged with precision. Whether you're munching on them during a Christmas movie marathon or using them as edible decorations for gingerbread houses, Pocky sticks are proof that simple can be sensational. But what's a gingerbread house without a touch of whimsy? Enter the gummy candy, those squishy, colorful shapes that bring any candy creation to life. Inside the gummy factory, the process begins with a mixture of sugar, glucose syrup, and gelatin, all heated until smooth and shiny. Flavors and colors are added before the syrupy mixture is poured into trays filled with custom molds. These molds can be anything from tiny bears to coiled snails, each one designed to capture the imagination. After the gummies set, they're gently released from the molds and tumbled in rotating drums where they're coated with a fine layer of cornstarch or powdered sugar to keep them from sticking. The result? Soft, chewy candies that glisten like jewels, perfect for decorating or just for snacking straight from the bag. From start to finish, it's a process that blends artistry and science, all in the name of sweetness. Of course, no holiday season would be complete without the king of comfort, the donut. Whether it's glazed, filled, or sprinkled, donuts are pure happiness in edible form. Inside massive donut factories, the process is a mesmerizing blend of precision and efficiency. It begins with large spiral mixers that blend flour, sugar, yeast, eggs, and milk into a soft, elastic dough. The dough is rolled out into smooth sheets, dusted with flour to prevent sticking, and flattened to the ideal thickness using powerful drum rollers. Then come the shape cutters, circular blades that stamp out perfect donuts in uniform sizes. The leftover dough is automatically collected and recycled, ensuring nothing goes to waste. It's a fascinating dance between human ingenuity and machine precision, all aimed at delivering perfection with every batch. Once shaped, the dough moves into the proofing stage, a warm, controlled environment where each donut slowly rises, developing that signature soft, airy texture. After proofing, the donuts glide down conveyors into massive industrial fryers filled with hot oil. The fryers are carefully timed so that each donut is cooked evenly on both sides, golden brown and irresistibly fragrant. Automatic turning arms gently flip the donuts halfway through frying, ensuring perfect color and texture all around. Once fried, the donuts are lifted out, drained, and moved to cooling racks where they settle before being sent for filling or glazing. Now comes the truly mouth-watering part, the coating. 4 chocolate-covered donuts, the golden rings are passed over a flowing curtain of melted chocolate, where machines delicately coat one side to glossy perfection. The donuts then travel under white chocolate nozzles that drizzle decorative lines across the top in mere seconds. A process so fast and precise that a single machine can decorate hundreds of donuts per minute. Next come the toppings: crushed nuts, chocolate shavings, or colorful sprinkles, all dropped evenly using automated depositors. Each sprinkle that lands on a donut tells a story of precision engineering and pure indulgence. Any extra toppings fall onto conveyor belts and are collected for reuse, ensuring nothing goes to waste while keeping the workspace spotless. But for many people, it's the glazed donut that steals the show. The glaze itself is made from a silky blend of sugar, milk, and flavoring that's kept warm and flowing through a thin extruder. As the donuts move beneath the glazing waterfall, they're completely enveloped in a shiny, sugary coating that sets into a crisp shell while keeping the inside light and fluffy. This creates that iconic contrast: a slight crunch when you bite in, followed by the melt-in-your-mouth softness that makes you crave another. Once glazed, the donuts are cooled, inspected for consistency, and packed carefully into boxes, still warm enough to tempt anyone passing by. And then there are the filled donuts, those decadent rounds with hidden centers of cream or jam. The dough for these is shaped into smooth balls using special molds before being fried to golden perfection. Once cooled, they're injected with rich fillings using precision nozzles, from silky vanilla custard to tangy raspberry jam. The automation is so refined that every donut gets the exact same amount of filling, ensuring a perfect bite every time. Some of these are dipped halfway in chocolate or dusted with powdered sugar before heading to the packaging line. Watching this process in motion feels like watching edible art being created at lightning speed, efficient, mesmerizing, and utterly delicious. Every step, from mixing to frying to decorating, represents a marriage of craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. Behind every sprinkle, candy cane, gummy, and donut lies a world of dedication, innovation, and a touch of magic. These factories don't just make sweets, they make moments of joy. The next time you're decorating a gingerbread house, unwrapping a candy cane, or biting into a fresh donut, remember that it all began in a place where machines hum, sugar sparkles, and holiday cheer never stops flowing. Because somewhere in those buzzing factories, Christmas is always just around the corner, sweet, colorful, and wonderfully alive.